Hey guys, welcome back to Bill's Retro Gaming Show. So, I follow several groups on Facebook, Reddit, that are dedicated to retro gaming, Arcade1Up, a lot of the stuff that I talk about on this channel. Now, one thing I've noticed is that every once in a while I'll see somebody, especially somebody who's new to a group like that, post something to the effect of, hey, I just found a site selling arcade cabs at super low prices, or this site is selling cabs at crazy low prices. Is this a scam? Or the worst one of all, I just bought from this site selling cabs for a couple $100s. Did I make a big mistake? Did I get scammed? Well, look, here's the thing about that last one. And I'm going to get into this, as I go on, but there are very few mistakes in life that you can't correct, and this is definitely one that can be corrected. But let's talk about this a little bit, because if you are interested, especially in Arcade1Up cabs, and you do a lot of searching online, or you're in some of these groups like on Facebook, ultimately what you're going to find is that you're going to get ads popping up, whether it's in Facebook or just in regular sites, that are going to lead you to certain other sites that may or may not be reputable. The worst one of these came up maybe about a month ago, and it spoofed the Arcade1Up site like almost perfectly. I believe it was like arcade1ups.com or .us, something. It's actually been taken down now, which is a good thing. I don't know if there were complaints to the FTC and the FTC got after it, but the site was actually taken down, or maybe Arcade1Up went after them, because if you went to the site, it mimicked Arcade1Up so perfectly that you could be fooled into thinking you were buying directly from them and they just had some crazy sale going on. That's not always the case with some of these sites. And what I want to start off with is I want to start off with one that's still out there and could still potentially get people. So I want to draw attention to it so that you'll know to stay away from it. So the site in question is called hottire.com. HOTTYRE.com. And if you go to their site and you look, they've got a handful of Arcade1Up machines at just ridiculous prices. The legacy cabinets for Atari and Bandai at $200, Big Buck at $210. The Capcom and Midway, $200. Some of the countercades and partycades, NBA Jam at $160. Okay, now I know they just announced that XL, but come on, you're not getting NBA Jam with the stool and everything for $160. You're certainly not getting a seated Outrun for $200. I don't even know if you can get this anymore, or if this is like sold out everywhere. Star Wars Pinball, Big Blue at $210. Come on, give me a break here. The X-Men arcade at $200, and then a couple of the Act Game Legends, the Pinball and the Ultimate Arcade. There's $200. Okay, come on, guys. Let's be real here. So that's going to lead me to like one of my first tips regarding these sites. Tip number one: if it looks too good to be true, it most likely is. All right. So that's the first thing. If you see something and the first thought in your mind is the X-Men 4-player is a $700 cab and they're selling it outright for $200. Not marketplace, not used, outright for $200. There's no way. There's no way that this could be possible. So, if your spidey sense is tingling when you're looking at these things, there's a good reason for that. If it sounds too good to be true, 99.9% of the time it is. So keep that in mind. So tip number two: if you're on a site like this and the only thing you see are arcade cabs, they don't sell anything else, nothing else at all, that's a red flag to me. Okay, you look at all the reputable sites that sell, and you can argue whether or not some of them overprice some of these things. But, you go to a Wayfair or a Best Buy or a Kohl's or Target or, Walmart. Okay, those sites. They sell 50 million other products, not just Arcade1Up cabs. So, you got a good deal that, they're going to be legit, obviously. Okay? You come to a site like this that sells nothing else but arcade cabs at ridiculously low prices. Okay? That should be a red flag to you that this is not a real site. So after having looked at that site, I want to point you to a different one that I found. And a lot of people, a lot of times when I see these posts, whether it's on Facebook or Reddit, a lot of people will reference this site, this scam-detector.com. And if you come here, you can actually search out a website to see if it comes up as valid or if it looks like it's a scam. And all you have to do is go to scamdetector.com, and there's a link here for verify a website. You click on that, and it will come up to here, and you can just enter the name of the website and hit the validator button. And it's going to run through all these little searches, and then boom, come up with the result. And this is actually, if you read through this, is actually pretty funny, all things considered. So it says, is hottire.com legitimate? Is hottire.com legit? Nope. It has the lowest trust rating on our chart. Let's take a look at it and its arcade machines industry. We put to work 53 powerful factors to expose high-risk activity and see if hottire.com is a scam. The scam detector's algorithm gives this business the following rank: 0.4 out of 100. You should know why hottire.com is flagged. See below. So, and it gives them some statistics on when the site was created. So, oh my God, this site has been up for almost a year and it's still out there. That's actually a little scary. Popularity poor, spam score, malware score. So, okay, at least there's no malware associated with the site, so that's good. Hottire.com. Arcade machines. The Hottire.com's business is apparently associated with a popular arcade machines industry, just for the facade. We tried to extract some content from its admin page to see what they say about themselves. Here's the conclusion. The website's poorly designed and doesn't contain elements in the metadata that could help its online presence. As a result, it loses credibility and shows that its quality is questionable momentarily. As soon as they improve their backend, we'll update this information and blah, blah, blah. The validator tool gives hottire.com the absolute lowest rank on the platform, 0.4. It signals that the business could be defined by the following tags: high risk, phishing, beware. We're pretty sure about our ratings, and we also partner with a few other high-tech fraud prevention companies that found the same issues. There are tons of reasons for this minimal rating. We came up with the 0.4 rank according to a formula that aggregates 53 factors relevant to hottire.com's industry. The algorithm detected high-risk activity related to phishing and spamming and any other factors relevant to the arcade machines industry. Hence the above-mentioned high-risk phishing beware tags. Long story short, otherwise known as TLDR, long story short, stay away from this website. And then, there's more stuff you can go through down here. And what's great about this is great here. And this is definitely something that you should do if you find a site like this or you think you've been scammed by one. So if you want to know how to report hottire.com or other online scammers, we have the answer. You could do it by contacting the Federal Trade Commission and fill out the form. You can also write down the name of suspicious sites or individuals in the comments section below. You will help thousands of potential victims. And the link on scamdetector.com brings you to the FTC site, reportfraud.ftc.gov. And from here, you can actually fill out a report and report a site as a scam. So that's another thing. If you think you've been scammed, you could definitely report it to the FTC, because if they get enough reports about a site, they will look into it. They will go after it. That may be why that Arcade1Ups.us site got taken down, because of FTC complaints. So that brings me to my next point. What should you do if you think you got scammed by one of these sites? Well, one thing you can definitely do, as I just mentioned, is report it to the FTC. Because if they get enough complaints, they will go after a site, and you can hopefully help prevent other people from getting scammed in the same way. Another thing you can do is report it to your credit card company. Now, whatever you might think about the practices of credit card companies, one thing is for sure. They're a business just like any other, and they want your business. They know they're in competition for your dollars because there are a lot of credit card companies out there. And they also know that there's a lot of fraud and scam, especially online. So most of the time, they've got your back. If you bought from one of these sites and you gave them your credit card and you think you got scammed, the first thing you should do is report it to your credit card company and stop payment. They will give you the payment back, and then they will investigate and look into and go after the site. I don't think they have any clout to get it shut down, but they can determine whether or not you actually were scammed and make sure you get your money back. Now, should you be worried your card is compromised? Maybe. If you're really that concerned, you could ask your card company to cancel your card and issue you a new one. Now, obviously the downside to that is if that's just a card you use for a lot of things and you use it for, online bill pay, automatic bill pay, and things like that, yeah, you're going to have to go through, you're going to have to update all that information. It sucks, but at least it's something you can actually do about it, all right? You can keep your card from being compromised and used in other ways that you don't want it to use. You can get the money back, all right? You're not out $200-$300, whatever you paid for this thing. You will be able to get the money back. So guys, the bottom line here in a lot of respects is, just use common sense, okay? Make sure that if you're buying an arcade machine, that you're buying it from either directly from Arcade1Up or from one of their partners. If it's a site that you buy from a lot, Amazon, Walmart, whatever, and you know they're legit and they happen to sell machines, yeah, you're good. You're not going to have a problem there. Now, the other side to this is, you say, well, what about, marketplaces? Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, eBay, all of that. Well, am I saying you're not going to get scammed by those sites? No, I'm not saying that. But that has nothing to do with the site. That has to do with the individual who is selling the unit. Okay? Facebook Marketplace, totally legit. Craigslist, totally legit. eBay, totally legit. What may or may not be legit is the person on the other end who's selling it. This is not, I'm not talking about a site that's just selling brand new machines outright. I'm talking about people who are selling their secondhand units. Somebody who bought it, decided to sell it, whatever. Look, if you're buying off of Marketplace or Craigslist, first off, a couple of tips. Tip number one, never pay anything up front. Never. If somebody says, you know what, give me a $50 down payment, I'll hold the machine for you. No, don't do it, okay? First off, you're the buyer. You're the one with the rights, okay? You have every right to inspect a machine before you buy it. If you're going to go buy something from someone, first off, bring somebody with you, all right, if you can, all right? If nothing else, the machines are heavy. Bring somebody who can, help you get it in and out of your car, truck, whatever. But also somebody to have your back just in case there's a problem. Because let's face it, you never know who you're meeting out there. Okay, and I'm not trying to make this doom and gloom. I'm just trying to be, realistic. When you go, inspect the machine. If it's new in the box, ask if you can open the box and just look and make sure all the parts are in there. If somebody doesn't want you to do that, to me, that's a red flag. That's a definite red flag. You should say, you know what, never mind. Not interested, okay? If the machine is put together and not in a box, have them turn it on. Plug it in, turn it on. Make sure it all works. Make sure the sound works, the board works, the games work, the controls work. Make sure it's in good working. I mean, unless they out and out say, hey, I'm selling this for parts, it doesn't work and whatever, and that's what you're buying it for, then you know what you're getting into, okay? Not a big deal there. But if you're buying a unit for the purpose of playing that unit, you should know it works. So make sure that it works before you buy it, all right? And that's all I got. Those are just some tips on don't get scammed by these scammer websites. If you are buying a machine secondhand, make sure you check it out. Make sure, you look that all the parts are there. Make sure the machine works, you know, that you're not just buying an empty cab with nothing in it. And that's it. And, you know, look, happy hunting. You know, I love being on some of these Facebook groups, and I love seeing a guy say, hey, I just bought a Star Wars unit off of somebody for $250. It works great. I'm jealous because I want one, and I live in New York, and, you know, even the secondhand market is ridiculously expensive here. But, you know, it's great to see those kind of stories that people are finding these at really good prices and being really happy with what they found. But again, that's a second-hand unit. That's not a website selling stuff outright. So be careful out there. That's all. Just be careful. Use common sense. Check these sites out. If you think something's too good to be true, it probably is. Run it through Scam Detector. Check with the FTC, check with the Better Business Bureau. There's a lot of things you can do to make sure the person you're buying, the site you're buying from, is legit before you pull the trigger. All right? So, again, happy hunting. It happens to be President's Day when I'm shooting this, so I hope you guys, if you're off today, I hope you guys have a great day. And, yeah, I'll be back again in the future with more videos. Take care.